Glasgow has had a thriving underground music scene dating back to the 1950s. Though over the past few years, the buzz has been around all styles of electronic music, and there has been a lot going on.
Glasgow's got a really strong electronic music scene. I think probably stronger now than ever. It's always been great. There's always been people up for parties. DJs love coming to play here. And there's a lot of people making really good music in Glasgow, and that seems to have been the same way for the last 15 years or so. For its size, there's a lot of young people, and there's a lot of kind of interest in the kind of underground electronic music scene, like electro and techno, whereas with a lot of the other cities like Berlin, they're all kind of focused on the one style. Like you'll go to a club and it'll be it'll be a lot more techno orientated, but at least in like say Glasgow, you can go and there's like people are a bit more open to hear electro, house, techno all mixed up.
Glasgow traditionally has always had a very vibrant underground scene. I think a lot of the time it's got probably too many things going on for the size of the population. But I mean that's quite a healthy position to be in rather than the opposite end of the scale.
I think it's got a really strong scene, quite strong and diverse as well. Various different nights from different types of electronic music, a lot of different venues.
The underground community in the city is made up of many young people who are new to the scene, but there are big names who have been involved since electronic music first came along.
One of the biggest is Slam, who very large part of Soma Records. They're pretty well known throughout the world. People who run the Subclub, Harry and Dominic, have got their own Saturday night residency there, have had for years. Club's been going for 20 years, but they also play worldwide. I've heard of them playing in Brazil, Argentina, you know. But there's a lot of, and even that's only the well-known artists, there's a lot of people coming through and always coming through.
I'm one of the guys that runs Soma Records. I organise the Pressure Nights at the Arches once a month and the Return to Mono Nights at the Subclub. I manage Slam, I book dates for Silicon Soul, and I book and organise a Slam tent at T in the Park. So I'm pretty well involved with the electronic underground scene in Glasgow and Scotland. Soma we started in 1991 along with Glenn Gibbons. It was really a kind of a vehicle to release music. After a couple of years, all sorts of people started bringing music to us to put out. We ended up with a track from Felix the House Cat, and Daft Punk met us because they'd heard Slam's Positive Education. They gave us tracks to put out, including the legendary Da Funk. We had 10 years of not being in the Subclub at all, and then we get on so well with Mike and Paul, the owners, that we decided to start a night 3 or 4 years ago now, Return to Mono, which is just once a month on a Friday. So we've got this kind of, I mean, it's definitely a spiritual home for us. Slam love playing there, we love hanging out there.
When the Slam guys left to do the Arches, Harry's been here since time immemorial. Some people call him the godfather of the Glasgow scene, some people call him the grandfather, depends who you talk to. But he's been here since, Harry's been DJing in the Subclub since it opened as the Subclub, which is 20 years this past year. Harry and Dominic have done it week in, week out, basically for the last 14 years. So I think it must be one of the longest residencies anywhere in the world, I think, for underground house music on a weekly basis.
With such a strong connection to underground electronic music, it's no surprise that Glasgow is home to dynamic retailers which supply the DJs and producers that frequent the city.
I work in Rubadub Records. I'm the deputy manager and also the head vinyl buyer. I started working there about 2000, about 8 years ago anyway. And since then we've kind of sprouted. We've got like 10 members of staff now, whereas before there was about 3. We've got a big, massive warehouse up in Hillington. We do a lot of distribution, worldwide distribution, loads of exclusive labels. We do a lot more equipment now than we used to do as well. DJ equipment, studio equipment, so it's quite a good team of people in the shop now. They've all got a good clue about what they're talking about. It's kind of coming on leaps and bounds. They've got a new website as well, obviously. It's kind of bringing in a lot more revenue for us as well.
Technology has changed so rapidly in the past decade that all aspects of our lives have been affected, and the underground community is no different.
think exposure-wise, it's great, you know, because people all around the world are exposed to your music and your DJs. And I mean, before, what would happen? You'd put a 12-inch out. It would take a couple of weeks to get to the other side of the world. Somebody might be playing it, and eventually whoever made the record might get asked to go and DJ in America or go and DJ in Italy or whatever. Now it happens quite instantaneously. You know, people put stuff on MySpace, and if they can find a way of getting attention, people all around the world can be listening to that and looking to that. Vinyl sales have been quite dramatically cut in the last 2 years. You know, we're almost to the point where some artists, we can't put their stuff out on vinyl, you know, so that makes it difficult for labels. But on the other hand, you know, we do sell a lot on places like Beatport. We sell a lot of downloads, and we can promote music very quickly. You know, I sent Laurent Garnier a digital file of a track, and he played it in Tokyo the same night. So, you know, you can really get your music out there.
The forums has obviously been a big one because just people can keep in contact with each other a lot easier. They can advertise their night for free basically, and everybody's got the internet these days. File sharing as well, I suppose. Like, there's a lot of people getting their music heard, which maybe wouldn't have had a chance before. So that's good, instead of having to send CDs to people and not knowing whether they get there or not, or whether they get binned. People are actually downloading people's stuff because they want to actually hear it.
Everybody can get involved, you know. Everybody can just be sitting in their house bored, might fancy doing something different at the weekend, might have heard of a club, you can go and research it. There's pretty much information every day, whether it's the promoters put it up or people who've been to the club night have put it up. You've always had the kind of bedroom DJ scene, and you needed maybe a studio to make the music, but now you can do the majority of stuff with a good quality laptop and a good quality program, music making program, and people are able to make their own tunes in their bedroom now.
With a growing population opening up new opportunities for Glasgow, how is it set to progress?
On a more general level, what detracts from it is the kind of licensing hours that we have to abide by and stuff like that. You know, having to close at 3 o'clock, where cities like Berlin and London and stuff are like 9 o'clock in the morning and beyond.
I think the nice thing about Glasgow is it's always been influential. DJs coming here love it, they love the crowd. DJs from here and people that make records from here tend to get exposure, but it's never been the main place, so it's never kind of, you know, been overexposed. I think it's a nice level of exposure, it's highly respected, and I think as long as new people and existing artists are making great records and DJs are coming and having a great time at parties, then that will continue. And it seems to me to be as healthy as it's ever been at the moment.
It can only get bigger because every year there's more and more young people move to Glasgow through all the different universities. Obviously people move away to go elsewhere, but probably keep more people than that actually leave. And a lot of them are interested in the electronic music scene. So every year we'll, in Rubadub or at Monarchs as well, you'll see this big group of new faces that just appear after the summer, and then that's them, they're there for the next 4 years or whatever.
I think it would really help the scene if there was, you know, maybe 5, 6 AM licences available on a weekly basis. And I think if Glasgow is to develop as a city that wants to be recognised as a cosmopolitan place for people to live and work and play, then it really has to move that way.